This episode has been a long time coming in more ways than one. The redemption story could finally complete itself today. The humiliation of being sacked by Liverpool during the Football Manager 17 beta. Pretty sure the only YouTuber who suffered that fate. And here we are. We've already guaranteed we're going to finish above Liverpool with local rivals Everton. And now we're 2 games away from securing a Champions League spot in our first season back in the Premier League. And that will be a rather pleasant way to finish the story with Everton. Hello and welcome to the final part of my Everton save. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's video, we've got the last 2 games of the season. We're at home against Swansea and then away against Champions League rivals Arsenal. Since you were last with me, we've struggled to sort of finish the job and get into that Champions League spot. We're stuttering against Tottenham. We've been stuttering against Southampton. We had a ridiculous game against Newcastle where Romelu Lukaku scored all 4 goals. But we do need results in these last 2 games to secure a Champions League finish. The board would be happy with Europa League. We obviously played in that this season after winning the FA Cup last year. And that's secure. We've already met the board expectations. Arsenal and Newcastle aren't both going to push past us. We've got a much better goal difference than Newcastle. Plus we play Arsenal in the last game of the season. But what we really need to do is try and secure this Champions League spot, because it will be so sweet in a save where I got sacked because I was rubbish. To then have 2 incredibly successful seasons in a row would be marvellous. And this is the team that we're going to be playing in the first of today's 2 games against Swansea to try and achieve exactly that. So we've got Matthew Ryan back in goal after Didion's nonsense in the Europa League. How different this season could have been if Ryan had just been in goal for that game. A back 4 of Augustinsson, Rodrigo Chow, Benatia and Gajic, with Bruno Fernandes, Berger and Hughes in midfield and Ross Barkley in behind Lukaku. And the returning Enner Valencia, he's fit again and therefore back in the team. And we need him to do the same end of season magic he did for us last year, where he was, hat-trick in the FA Cup final, anyone? He was awesome at the start of this season as well. He's been out for a long time. But we've got him back in. Belhanda's playing for Swansea though. And I've identified an opposition player, and he's a former player of ours. That's stupid on 2 levels. We're now guaranteeing a Belhanda goal today, which makes it that bit more difficult for us because we've got to score at least twice. Let's hope Lukaku thinks he's playing against Newcastle again and gets another 4 goals. Oh, goodness me, he's just hit the crossbar in the first 2 minutes of the game. He must think we're playing Newcastle. Actually, no, if we were playing Newcastle, he'd have scored it. As it stands right now, we're up to 3rd place, but Manchester City aren't playing at the moment. So take that with a pinch of salt. In fact, Tottenham have now moved above us, and Man City are still in that position of not having played yet. So as it stands now, and assuming a Man City win, we're out of the Champions League spots, but we've just pulled back. Valencia's still in cracking form. He's just got a goal. But even moments before that, we'd moved back above Tottenham again, because I guess they went behind in their game or was equalised. But we've gone ahead in ours. And Enner Valencia, he's been injured for so long, and it's like he hasn't missed a beat. He's been out for 6-7 months. Back in, first start back in the team, and he's picking up exactly where he left off. What a player he's turned out to be. What a surprise. And he's in again there, and their keeper does well to collect. But looking at that league table at the moment, still assuming a Man City win, we will maintain a 4th place position going into that Arsenal game on the last day. And Arsenal have now dropped down out of the Europa League spots. So they're going to be, we're both going to be in situations, if everything ends as it is right now, both us and Arsenal are going to be desperate for a win to try and achieve our end of season goals. So that one's going to be a spicy affair. Augustinsson loses the ball and Hughes wins it back though. Bruno Fernandes to Berger. To Bruno Fernandes again. Hughes, we're playing the ball around really nicely. Gajic to Lukaku. He hits the post. He's hit the woodwork twice in this game now. In the first 2 minutes of each half, Lukaku has clattered the woodwork. It's perhaps destined not to be his day today, but as long as we don't concede now, I don't really care. We'll win any way we can win. But Swansea are coming at us now. Bruno Fernandes intercepts again. But Swansea are crossing again, and Danny Ings, another former player of ours from back in the Liverpool days, has equalised, and that could have disastrous consequences. Tottenham are doing us a little bit of a favour at the moment because they're not winning in their game. So if everything finishes as it is now, I love the end of the season because I love saying that. If everything finishes as it is now, we can still go into the final game of the season knowing a win against Arsenal is enough. Obviously, we would like that little bit of a cushion that winning this game gives us. So let's go and win it. Asensio's going to come on. Lukaku's not having a great game, so Luke de Jong's going to come on. And we've still got Penny sat there as well to bring in if we need that little bit of extra creative spark in the last 10 minutes. Oh, come on, we're at home. It's like we don't want to finish in the Champions League. Tottenham are doing their best to not finish there either. Right, let's take off Berger, bring on Penny, drop Asensio back into the midfield. He can go to rolling playmaker. Hughes can be the ball winner. And let's see if Penny can create something for that front two. A goal would be rather helpful at the moment. Tottenham look like they might even be losing, so a goal now would guarantee us Champions League without even needing the final game of the season, I think. But it's Swansea attacking. We've won the ball back, though, and we've run out of time. Right, how does the league table look? Let's assume the Man City win. We've got 2 points on Tottenham, but they've got a better goal difference. We still need to beat Arsenal on that last day. So that's the job for now. So this is it, the final game of what has been a spectacular Everton story. This is going to be the icing on the cake, hopefully. We're not changing the team from the one that we just played against Swansea, despite us being a little bit rubbish in that game. I'm putting it all down to nerves. The media and the bookies have decided we're not going to make the Champions League because we're 10-1 for this game, which is ridiculous. Arsenal are outside of the Europa League spots at the moment. Come on, lads. Let's finish off with a Champions League spot. As is tradition, I'm going to release the save for you lot to download and play, and let me know how you get on once we're done with this. And I would like you to be able to have a season in the Champions League, see if you can do better than we did this year. I'm nervous. Right, it's end of the season. It's a Kev trademark. Can I have picture-in-picture, please? I want to know what Tottenham are doing. Because if Tottenham lose, it really doesn't matter what happens in this game. Oh, and we might actually need Tottenham to lose because Arsenal are now winning against us after less than 2 minutes. And we're at the Emirates. Oh, this is going to be so sad if we don't qualify. I mean, you got to remember, Europa League finish is still a fantastic season. First season back in the Premier League, a 5th place finish is amazing. But we've been in those Champions League spots all season long. To throw it away right at the death. And we've been rubbish, really, ever since that Europa League thrashing. We've just not recovered mentally from it. Lukaku's in. There's still only 2 minutes on the clock, and it's 1-1. Romelu Lukaku, I've been hard on him all season long. It's his 29th goal of the season, though. That's not a bad return for a player who I've been talking about dropping and selling constantly. He just keeps... he's not spectacular, but he just scores so many goals. I just wish he did a little bit more to help the rest of the team, but... I'm being fussy there. If he gets a hat-trick today, I don't care if they're the only 3 times he touches a ball, because that shot... Well, there you go. There's one of them now, so that ruins that. Barkley... It took 3 Arsenal players to tackle Ross Barkley there. Remember, this is a player who was on the shortlist for the Ballon d'Or in January, so he is a proper world-class player. And one of the main reasons why we're in this position that we are, because of the incredible form of Ross Barkley for the last 2 seasons, really. And they're obviously a little bit afraid of him. Perhaps we need to bring on Asensio or Penny to just sit there alongside him and just scare him with 2 players sat in behind. Probably not the day to be fiddling with the tactic, though, on the final game of the save. Right, Valencia, can he have a special final day? Rodrigo Chow finds Bruno Fernandes. Hughes, we're passing the ball around nicely again. Gajic, I would have thought that would have been worthy of a highlight. Arsenal have already had 3 clear-cut chances. We're going to have to mug them to beat them here, everybody. And, that would be quite a fitting end as well. If we get into the Champions League via mugging. Tottenham are ahead in their game. When did that happen? As of right now, we're not in the Champions League and Arsenal have just scored again. And it's now looking really unlikely. We've got to turn around a defeat to a win here. There you go, that's proper football talk. I sound like I know what I'm doing now. Oh, what was Ryan doing there? He's not anywhere near the goal, and they've just... Oh, that will just kick it into this big net behind you that you're not even standing in front of. Oh, that's just poor. Newcastle can't catch us, can they? I don't think they can. Right, Lukaku does well to win the ball there. Finds Bruno Fernandes, who doesn't do quite so well, missing out to Jack Wilshere. And Arsenal in again. Ryan makes a good save this time. They've now had 4 clear-cut chances to our none. We're being rubbish again. What a poor end to the season. This is like the form that got us sacked at Liverpool, 2 seasons ago. Valencia's shattered as well. We might have to bring Luke de Jong on sooner rather than later. And Chamberlain has just made an absolute mug of Augustinsson. Ryan collects that nicely. We need Tottenham to go behind in their game. I don't mind making the Champions League by default, but it's going to hurt missing out right at the death like this. Right. See, they're just coming at us in waves. That's another clear-cut chance and another goal. It's now 3-1. The only way we're getting into the Champions League now is if Tottenham throw it all away. And we've only got ourselves to blame. We have let Arsenal create 5 clear-cut chances by the 54th minute. This is not the Everton team that has been doing so well for the last 2 years. We've not been the same team since morale was just destroyed in the Europa League. And, what a difference. How different the whole season could have been if we'd have just played Matthew Ryan in that game. It all comes down to that one decision, and it was the wrong decision. And Lukaku hopefully hits it forward to Valencia, and Valencia had no chance of getting there. He's shattered. He's just coming back from injury, and it was a poor pass anyway. Rodrigo Chow's picked up a knock as well, and Arsenal are coming at us again, and we just can't stop them. It's 4-1. That's their 6th clear-cut chance of the game now. Oh, actually, no, it's not. They're still on 5. Well, that's all right then. I'm glad no one watches this save because you don't have to see this. That's the silver cloud on silver cloud. Why not be a silver cloud? The silver lining on the cloud that is this nonsense that's going on today. There's not even any point in trying to get back into this game at this point. Although bless them, they are trying, but that's just poor. And they're coming at us again, and we're powerless to stop them again. We look like a team that's just come up from the Championship playing against a proper Premier League team, which is what is happening, but it hasn't looked like that until 5 games ago, and we've just run out of steam. Everyone's figured us out. We're not good enough. Right, let's bring Traore on. Let's bring Penny on. We'll do that for now. It's not going to be enough. I mean, Traore, let's see him go get a hat-trick. Why not? And now Penny's injured within seconds of coming onto the pitch. So Asensio comes on, which means we now don't have a final substitution to make. I mean, when a player gets injured within 40 seconds of being on the pitch, you should just let us take him back off again without it counting as a substitution. Everything's going against us today. We just need Tottenham to lose. Will Hughes is injured now as well. Oh dear. Will Hughes is bleeding from the head, and we're not going to be in the Champions League. Rubbish. Traore's going to get his customary goal. There it is. Probably should have played him every game. 17 goals this season from the bench. Those of you who do take on this save, I'll be interested to know how many goals he scores if you actually use him properly, because I know I haven't, and I really should have played him more often. But, I mean, it's just a tidy little finish again. There you go. That's my tip for a player to sign in FM17. Sign Bertrand Traore, and Arsenal just rubbing salt into the wounds now. Their 6th clear-cut chance, their 5th goal. We have been absolutely torn apart. We don't deserve to be in the Champions League. We are. I mean, this is what we'd have to look forward to next year if we did make it into the Champions League. Playing against teams like this week in, week out, and just being powerless to stop things like that from happening. So let's try and be positive. We finished 5th. That's better than we probably should have done. It's what the board hoped for. We have another season of European football to look forward to, or you do if you take on the save. But that's just a disappointing end. Oh, there we go. Does it even mention Europa League? It doesn't. Never mind. We'll have a quick look at the squad. Say goodbye to a team that we've come a long way with them. We had a fantastic season last year. Not quite so good this year, but we are still a European team. So that's a good thing. The goals have been nice and evenly shared around. Lukaku's done far better than I would have let you believe, the way I've been talking about him all season. But the goals are evenly shared around those 5 players, which is nice to see. Assists, Omar's done well again, especially for only playing 22 games. An assist every other game is not bad going. Same with Amavi. I mean, really, those two probably should have been playing a bit more often. Augustinson and Gajic have played more games and got less assists. Perhaps I should look at these stats a little bit more often. Player of the season, Valencia and Assombalonga haven't played enough. Benacia's had a very, very good season. Rodrigo Chow, you wouldn't expect it to be all the defenders because of what an attacking team we are, but it just shows that the defenders have probably been playing out of their skin to make us look better than we really are, and have just ran out of steam in the last few weeks and are now struggling a little bit. And that was Everton. So I'm going to resign now and let you have this save. It's been fun. We'll look to do another little mini save to go alongside Non-Lethal Legend at some point, probably in the new year. But let me know what you'd like me to see, what you would like to see me do next as a little 2-3 season thing to go alongside Non-Lethal Legend. If you've enjoyed that and if you've enjoyed this series, make sure you pop a like on there for me. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. And thank you very much for watching. And check the description because you'll be able to download this save there, and make sure you come back to the comments and let me know how you got on.